Hello guys and welcome back to Premier League Predictions, Sophie. The top flight of English football returns this weekend after the bloody international break. Set us a like target.
I'm going to go big, actually, considering we're back from the international break. People should be happy about that. So 5,000 likes. It's big.
Let's do it. Drop a like if you haven't already. Go on, get involved. Make sure to subscribe as well. Let's try and hit 114,000 subscribers next.
Why not?
Thank you, as always, for your brilliant support. Sophie, the scores last time. I did beat you. I must point out that the week before I hadn't added 1 point on for you. The overall score now is 42 to Matt and 43 to Sophie. It's close.
Yeah, it's close, but it's nice that you're trying to cheat.
It was an accident.
It's a compliment, yeah.
I added it back on now.
Okay, fair enough.
Sophie, let's get into the games. We start at the City Ground, Sophie, as Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest take on Chelsea. Sophie, a lot of speculation about Nottingham Forest at the minute. Ange Postecoglou is in deep trouble just because of the results. You know, he's only been there a month, but he hasn't won a single game. They've played Swansea, they've played Sunderland, they've played Burnley, and they can't beat anyone at the minute. Chelsea, on the other hand, Sophie, they come into this in decent form now with the win over Liverpool before the international break. Before that, they'd beat Benfica in the Champions League. So things are looking good for Chelsea. Look, I make Chelsea favourites here. If Ange Postecoglou is going to fight for his job...
Yeah, it needs to be now.
It needs to be now. It needs to be now. I just don't know.
Nope.
I just think they're too open defensively. I can't back Forest at the minute. 2-1 Chelsea.
3-0 Chelsea for me.
3-0?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, okay.
I'm just feeling very confident in Chelsea. They've got so many injuries, but that was a great performance against Liverpool. They even accumulated more injuries during that game, but it didn't matter. And then you've got a team that are really, really struggling under Ange, and I think it could be one of, if not his last game.
Yeah, I don't see how Ange Postecoglou could last much longer without even one win on the board at this point. They've been linked with Sean Dyche, by the way.
Yeah, which I think is very strange, because you had Nuno, and it was like, okay, well, we want a change. We'll go for Ange. So, okay, you've got the change. It's not a good one. Now what? No, Sean Dyche. Like, how many backward steps are you going to take?
It's funny, they've gone from defensive to attacking to defensive again.
Yeah.
Sophie, let's go to Brighton versus Newcastle United. Bit of trivia for you, Sophie. Newcastle United, all three of their away games have been the same score. What score is that?
2-2?
No, 0-0.
Oh.
They've drawn 0-0 at Villa, at Leeds and Bournemouth. Surely there's going to be a goal in a Newcastle away game at some point. Newcastle United, as I have said before, I think are growing into this season. I think the new signings are starting to come good. Voltemada's looking a handful. But Brighton, Sophie, Brighton have been pretty good. And this is a battle between two teams that are probably going to be fighting over 6th or 7th place this season.
I agree.
Maybe 5th. Should we do it? Should we go for a 0-0?
0-0. I don't see a 0-0 playing out.
Well, it's your prediction first.
Okay, well, I'm not going for that. I'm going to say 1-1. I am going to back a draw, but I do think that Newcastle will score, but I also think Brighton will score as well. But I think the two are going to cancel each other out. You're going to go 0-0.
No, I'll pick a winner.
Go on.
1-0 Brighton.
Okay.
I just think home advantage might tip it for me. Brighton have been really impressive. Newcastle United, a lot going on at the minute. They've got the Champions League coming around next week, of course, as well. And for Brighton, Sophie, I've said this is a really big season for them and Hotspur because they're not in Europe. They can really try and capitalise in the Premier League. Exactly. And I think, they might finish top 7 or 8. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think they should. Yeah.
Share your thoughts down below. 1-0 and 1-1. Next up, Sophie, we go to a massive game at Turf Moor. Burnley versus Leeds United. These games are huge. Obviously, last season, this fixture was two teams that jostled for 100 points in the Championship. Incredible. And this time round, it's crucial in their bid for survival. Now, Burnley, Sophie, have been quite good at Turf Moor. Yeah. They beat Sunderland. They drew with Forest there. And I just sense that Burnley won't lose this.
They're hard to beat, and I think they're probably set up to not lose.
They took 4 points off Leeds last season. They didn't concede a single goal to Leeds either. So I think Scott Parker knows how to navigate his way through these head-to-head games at the bottom of the Premier League and top of the Championship. But that's not to say he will win, because I think Daniel Farke will know what to expect in this one as well. And although Leeds should be coming here for the win, if they get out with a draw, it's not a bad result.
Yeah, it's not bad.
In fact, Leeds United's next 2 games, they've got West Ham at home after this.
Winnable.
And then I think Burnley have got to play West Ham and Wolves in the next couple of games as well. There's some big games coming. I'm going to go, Sophie, 1-1.
Okay, that's what I was going to go for. So 0-0. I'll go for, stalemate. They cancel each other out. It's very difficult because I do like Leeds, and I think that because Burnley are going to have that respect, they're not going to want to lose. They're going to set up quite defensive and they're going to really limit Leeds. Then you never know. Burnley can then hit them on the counter and then they might walk away with all 3 points. But for me, I think Leeds have enough, like especially defensively. I've been quite impressed with them at the back to not lose this one. So 0-0.
It's definitely a big game, and it does feel like both have got to win it, especially Burnley being really far down there. But then the risk of losing this game is so
massive.
Great.
Yeah.
If Leeds lose this, it's a damaging result. If Burnley lose this, they're deep in trouble. So I sense it'll be a very tense afternoon at Turf Moor. Share your thoughts. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is 0-0. Next up, Sophie, Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. These two are brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Wouldn't you love it if these two finished like 4th and 5th and both got Champions League football?
I would actually. Spice things up.
Honestly. Crystal Palace, Sophie, have been great, but they actually lost a game of football to Everton before the international break. Bournemouth, Sophie, they're still looking very good. What a great win against Fulham. Semenyo, his first goal.
He's just insane, isn't he?
He's unbelievable. Do you know what? I like both of these. What are you saying?
Because I don't want to go against either, I'm probably going to say a draw. It's very boring, but 1-1. I just think it's 2 very, very good teams going at it, so I don't want to pick a winner. So, sorry, I'm going for a draw.
I could see a draw playing out. But if there is going to be a winner...
I think it'll be Palace.
At Selhurst Park, I'm going to go 2-1 Palace.
Okay.
Maybe they'll do it with a late goal. They haven't lost at Selhurst Park in ages, so I don't see them losing, but I just know that Bournemouth will give them a hard time. You know, Bournemouth are really good, and Semenyo, could he get into like an Arsenal?
Yeah, 100%, but then would he shine the way he is at Bournemouth? Would he then shine at, say, a top 4 club? Probably not.
But he could definitely get into one.
Yeah, it's not a question about that. I just don't know if he'd then look as good because look at Eze for Crystal Palace, one of the star players. Now he's at Arsenal. You don't really hear much about him. So I think it'd be a similar sort of thing.
But that's just how it is, though, isn't it? You know, it's like Jack Grealish at Villa and then Jack Grealish at Man City. It wasn't the same. And
now Jack Grealish at Everton.
Right, anyway, speaking of Man City and Everton, Sophie, look at that. It's Man City versus Everton. I tell you what, Sophie, I say Man City are more powerful, but Everton have definitely closed the gap a bit recently.
Yeah, talk about Jack Grealish, he can't actually play in this one.
No, that's a very good point worth mentioning. But I think Everton can come here and frustrate. Jordan Pickford will probably be busy, but he's very good at keeping the ball out the back of his net. And Everton still carry a threat going forwards. Can they hurt Man City on the counter-attack? Man City have been getting better recently, and they're not out of the title race for sure. I'll back Man City. As Grealish isn't playing, you know, that's a big thing that might...
It is a big loss for Everton, isn't it?
Yeah. 2-0 Man City.
2-1 Man City. I actually think this could be quite a close game, but I do fancy Man City just to edge it. I think they've got more quality all over the pitch, really. But Everton have been very, very solid and they're not to be underestimated. So I think if Man City don't turn up on their A game, I think they'll get punished. But if they turn up and play some nice football that we have seen, I think they should just get it over the line. So 2-1 for me. 2-1.
Okay, do share your thoughts down below. We're both backing Man City and... it'll definitely keep the title race going if Man City can close in on Liverpool and Arsenal. And I sense it'll be between those 3.
100%. You can never count Man City out.
No. Sophie, next up, this is massive. Sunderland versus Wolves. I tell you what, Sophie, we've got 3 big relegation sandwich El Clasicos this week. Because this game as well, Sophie, Sunderland versus Wolves, although they're separated by quite some distance in the table, by the end of the season, there might not be a lot between them. Yeah. Do I think Sunderland are going to finish in the top half? No. However, I will admit that I am now on Sophie's side.
Of them staying up?
That Sunderland will stay up. Yeah. You did say before the season started, I needed a bit of convincing, but what I've seen from Sunderland makes me think they've got enough to stay up. But
Will they win this one?
But the hard work is not done yet. They need to make sure they win this. You know, a draw's not terrible, but if they can win this, Sophie, they open up a bigger gap over Wolves, and it means there's more catching up for Wolves to do.
Sunderland at home as well.
Sunderland are at home.
Yeah, they'll do it.
Prediction?
2-0 Sunderland. Yeah, I think they'll do it, and it's going to be pretty peak for Wolves, to be honest. They've not been great, as we've seen, and Sunderland have been very good. So I think they'll do this, especially being at home as well. So 2-0.
Wow. Okay. So you think Sunderland will stay up?
Yeah, I said that.
Will Wolves go down though?
I don't know. Don't ask me yet. Ask me in a couple of months.
Okay. I'm also going to back Sunderland 1-0. I think Sunderland have been so good defensively and so good at soaking up the pressure. I know they lost 2-0 to Man United, by the way. Not a good result. But I think that will give them a hard reset. And at the Stadium of Light, they're very hard to beat.
Yeah.
I think Sunderland win this 1-0 and 2-0. Share your thoughts down below. For Wolves, not looking great.
Good.
Still not won a game, although they did get close against Brighton and Tottenham.
That was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
But it's just what can happen.
Yeah.
Sophie, let's go to Fulham versus Arsenal. You would imagine Arsenal should win this, but can Fulham trip them up? I don't know. It all comes down to, can Fulham score first? If Fulham score first, you could sense Arsenal getting frustrated and Fulham pulling out a bit of a master plan here and getting the job over the line. I don't know, though. Can I see that? I just don't want to get... I can't go against Arsenal at the minute.
You can't.
I sense Fulham will score, though. I'm going to go Fulham 1, Arsenal 2. Remember, Arsenal have got so many games going on at the minute with the Champions League, with the Carabao Cup, with the Premier League, of course, that they're going to be a bit fatigued at times. And, of course, because they've got so many great players, they're always playing when they go away for the international.
Yeah.
So I wonder if fatigue and a lack of rest and stuff might be a thing that catches up with Arsenal. That said, I'm still backing them, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to back them 1-0. I think they'll get a clean sheet. I think Fulham will give them a really tough game. But I think Arsenal at the moment, they do seem to just know how to get the 3 points. So I'm going to back them, and this title race I think is going all the way.
Yeah, imagine if we can still have the 3 teams involved come May. That'd be
just
brilliant.
Like final day. Could you imagine that? I'd love that.
Yeah, share your thoughts down below. We're both backing Arsenal, which would keep them top of the table. Sophie, let's go to their rivals, Tottenham Hotspur, who take on Aston Villa. Spurs, Sophie, 2-1 winners over Leeds United before the international break. I tell you what, they're not playing great, but they are getting results. And
They're not losing, are they?
That's the main thing, isn't it? I make them favourites against Villa, who've not won away from home in the Premier League this season.
But they've turned a corner.
They have turned a corner, though. 4 wins in a row in all competitions, but as I've said previously, their 2 Premier League wins were home games against Burnley and Fulham. If they can win this, it's a bit more of a statement, isn't it? And it would be like, right, Spurs, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Can Villa win, Sophie? What's your prediction?
I'm actually going to back a draw. I think there could be a couple of goals, so I'm going to go for Desmond. I'm going to say 2-2. If this was a few weeks ago before Villa could score and actually like play all right again, I would have backed Spurs. They're not losing, so I don't see Spurs losing at home. But I do feel like Villa have been playing a little bit better, and I think it will continue after the international break. So 2-2.
2-2. 1-0 Tottenham.
I had a feeling you were going to back Spurs, actually.
Yeah, I think Spurs might just edge it. And I think the thing is, if this was Ange Postecoglou, I'd probably be more like 2-2, as you say.
Yeah.
But they've been good at grinding results out. And I think defensively, Tottenham have been so much better this season. That said, Villa carry a threat. I think Marlon can cause problems. Ollie Watkins, can they get him firing? John McGinn's always lively. Those 3 players in particular, I think, can hurt you. But I reckon Tottenham might just be able to get a clean sheet and therefore the win.
Okay.
1-0 and 2-2. Share your thoughts. The next game, Sophie, is between Liverpool and Manchester United. It's one of the most classic football games of all time, isn't it?
Massive.
They're just worlds apart at the minute, though, aren't they? Liverpool are constantly in a title race. Man United are in a relegation scrap. I tell you what, Sophie, can Man United do it? Can they surprise them? It would be very Man United-esque. I don't see Man United winning, But I think on their day, if things can just fit perfectly, they might get a draw.
I don't think you could actually rule Man United out of winning this one. I wouldn't actually be that surprised. Liverpool before the international break hadn't looked the best, and then Man United did pop up with a surprise result and beat Sunderland, so you never know.
Not at Anfield, surely?
Surely not, but as I say, Liverpool haven't been at it, have they?
Right, let's do a prediction. I agree, by the way. Liverpool have not been great lately, but maybe the 2-week break and now being back at Anfield in a game which the Liverpool fans will be fired up for.
True.
I think they'll go back to winning ways. 3-1.
Okay. Yeah, it really depends what Liverpool team turn up for me. Is it the Liverpool that should be absolutely battering teams, or is it the Liverpool that I've been playing the last couple of weeks? Do you know what? I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1, which is not a good result at all for Liverpool.
I tell you what, the Arsenal fans would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you saying? But do you still fancy Liverpool to win the Premier League?
Yes, I just think they're struggling right now.
Okay.
But as soon as I think Wirtz is playing well, but he's not chipping in with the goals and assists. So as soon as he can start doing that, that'd be great. Isak, I mean, I know they were trying to get him up to match fitness, but I'd like to see him start alongside Ekitike, because I don't think you can drop Ekitike. He's came in and hit the ground running. So if you got those two up top, I don't know if they'd change formation or maybe stick Ekitike out left wing, because Gakpo's not been the best.
No.
Salah as well has not been firing. So if he actually starts playing well again, that is such a good team. But right now, yeah, not great.
Okay. And Sophie, the final game is at the London Stadium, West Ham United versus Brentford, another relegation 6-pointer. Although, Sophie, these two have been established Premier League teams for some time now, you do sense that they're both in trouble, because West Ham United, they're already under a point per game quite significantly. That said, I think the appointment of Nuno is a really good one, and he will make them harder to beat, and I think inevitably start to drag them up a little bit. Who knows?
How quickly can he do it, though?
Yeah, exactly. They have got some really big games coming, by the way, West Ham. They've got to play Brentford, Leeds and Burnley in the next 4. As for Brentford, though, Sophie, I think they've been quite good at times. They've been competitive. I prefer them at home. They're not doing very well away from home. And they've got some really difficult games coming. So they could do with getting a draw here. But what are you saying? Can they?
I don't know. No, do you know what? I'm going to back Nuno. I'm not going to say that it's going to be an amazing performance by West Ham. I think it's just going to be two teams that are struggling, going at it, but one team just taking their chances, and that's going to be West Ham for me. So 2-1.
Damn it, that's a scribble.
You're backing West Ham as well?
I was going to say 2-1 West Ham.
Right.
I could say 1-0.
Well, if you think they're going to win, yeah.
But I don't see Brentford not scoring. So I will go for a draw now instead.
Okay.
1-1. I agree, though. If anyone's going to win for me, it's probably West Ham. But I think Brentford will be happy to get out of here with a draw. If they can just get one goal, if they go 1-0 up, shut up shop a little bit and get out with a draw. Brentford have got players that can hurt you, but West Ham do as well. Somerville, Paquetá, Bowen, Fulkrug. You know, if you can get them all firing, Nuno has lots of quality at his disposal. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. 2-1 West Ham and a 1-1 draw. And that wraps up our Premier League predictions, guys. There are so many massive games coming this week, guys. So share your predictions down below. There's some big games down at the bottom. There's some big games up at the top. Get your predictions down there. Make sure you have dropped a like. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will be back with Premier League predictions next Wednesday. Take care, everyone. Peace out.